with the top 3 spots currently occupied by Super League clubs. It's looking like a 3-way battle for that crucial 4th promotion place in 2018, with Toronto, the Broncos and Toulouse all locked on 4 points. The Wolfpack are in the box seat in 4th position, and today's clash is likely to decide the venue of next month's £1 million game. Ashton Sims waiting to get this one underway. Gareth O'Brien will kick things off. The referee, Tom Grant, just about ready to go. Took charge of London against Toulouse last week, the official. And O'Brien does get this one underway. Toronto from left to right in this first half. A good hit first up on from Jake Emmett.
Expecting a good start here from the Toronto Wolfpack to really lead from the front, get into Toulouse. Toulouse have got some outstanding plays. You look at Mark Corella at the back, he's a brilliant player. Give him some space, he'll cause you some damage. But the man that we were talking about before, Jonathan Ford, the influence that he's got, he'll play off the back of some decent runs, powerful runs like this from Sam Rapira.
Both the players you just mentioned, Mark Corella and Jonathan Ford, up for the Player of the Year reckoning. No Wolfpack nominees though, so that might add a little bit more spice to what's already a tough clash. Kick is high on the last tackle. I was going to say taken really well by Mason Cater-Brown. Spilled the ball, but it's a penalty. Goes the Toronto Wolfpack's way.
Didn't look comfortable, did he? The Toulouse players were offside, but when that ball goes up there, Mason Cater-Brown, when it's coming down, forget the ball wobbling around in the air. What about his knees? I think he was a bit worried. He could see the players in front of him. I think panic setting, and I'll bet my bottom dollar when that ball goes up again, they'll be targeting Cater-Brown then.
First trip to Canada for Toulouse. They won May's home meeting with Toronto, which was switched to St James's Park as a curtain raiser to the Magic Weekend. Toronto in a good position there with Wallace. Via O'Brien, it's Wheeler. He's forced into touch over on that far side. Stan Robban with a good defensive contribution there and really warmly appreciated by his teammates.
You're right, Ben, and that's what you need. Whenever you're playing a game and you're up against one of the top sides in the competition, players and coaches will talk about having a first good touch. First good touch of the ball, first good touch in defence, and that certainly is a decent touch and an effort. When the ball's shifted, they're standing back, they're buying a bit of time. Gary Wheeler, look, he's got his arm free. He's looking for Ornstall to come inside. He holds his wing. Realistically, he's got to drop back underneath the number 23 for Toronto. You're running out of space. Your centre's been forced off the field. You've got to get back inside.
2 minutes gone at Lamport Stadium. Some real intensity in defence shown by Toulouse. What can they do in attack now as Gavin Marguerite plays that ball? First appearance in the qualifiers this year. Started 2018 at blistering pace, 4 tries in his opening 4 matches.
Sam Rapira putting his hand up, the forwards are all putting their hands up as well. Marion just trying to bring them onto the ball. There goes Ford, nice little pass.
Really nice at the line from Jonathan Ford.
Oh, he'll get plenty of that every time he goes at the line. There's going to be some pressure on him. He's going to be hit.
Classy operator, the Cook Islands international, as Toulouse move over halfway. Stopped by Bezic. There is opposite number Anthony Marion, and the kick is from Ford. It's a raking high effort, and the sun in the face there of Gareth O'Brien as he returns this, collected it well.
Nice and controlled at the back, Gareth O'Brien. Very difficult to fluster him. Has nice composure in the game with his sweeping lines under those high balls. If the line's broken as well, he affects the tackle.
Both wingers there taking the ball up, Nick Rawsthorne and then Mason Cater-Brown. No Matty Russell this afternoon for Toronto Wolfpack. Rapira in the tackle. Wallace, ball at the line this time for Patterson. Cruises over a couple of bodies, stopped by Rapira. Oh, real pressure on Wallace there as he got the kick away.
Well, that's the sort of pressure that I'm on about. Whenever the ball is on the final players in the set, the man who's kicking it is going to be under some pressure. Can't make it easy for them. You can't let them just kick the ball and place it where they want to.
Marcon and Corella with the first carries. Centrone now into the waiting arms of Emmett. Now Rapira. Dixon and Sims combined to bring him to ground.
Making a lot of meters when it's just the simple plays, the low-risk plays. They're getting over the advantage line. They're taking the Toronto players back a few meters. Jonathan Ford under pressure here.
It's a strong carry from Maxime Pouesh, but as you say, there was a real effort to get to Ford with the kick. Not the best.
Always look to link up at the back then, the back three. Gareth O'Brien, Kane Brown, Rawsthorne.
Wallace moves into dummy half, and they get the ball really well wide to the right-hand side.
Well, they did well to recover them because he had some space out wide. He's one of the fabulous players that's in this championship, Chase Stanley.
It's Wallace again. Rawsthorne moves in. Patterson with it. Jack Bussey. Sub in the opening qualifying win at Halifax, but he missed the subsequent 3 games, Bussey. Back today. And the kick, looking for Mason Caton-Brown. He's really quick, and Mason Caton-Brown could get there first. Has he got this ball down? Showed it explosive speed to reach it.
Well, you talk about speed. What about Gareth O'Brien? Speed of thought. Knowing that the defenders are in front of him, he's looking outside him, out the corner of his eye. He sees Caton-Brown that calls for it. There's the pressure on Wallace. He'll have that all day. And then when that ball's kicked from Gareth O'Brien into the corner, Caton-Brown has a lot of speed. He just can't quite get there, though. When you look at Toronto, they'll move the ball from one side to the other. Everything seems to be at speed, what they're doing.
Marcon. Patterson, good tackle there. 3 in fact in there. Lake Wallace among them as well. Marguerite to ground. Now Rapira thought about the pass into the tackle of Emmett.
That must be his 7th carry in the opening 6 minutes. Well, Sam Rapira, he earns his side a penalty as well. He's not obviously as young as what he used to be when he was playing down under in the NRL, New Zealand Warriors, and when he was an international player, but he's certainly still got the appetite for the game.
Substitute in the NRL Grand Final, in fact, back in 2011. Lost to Manly on that occasion. Some more work now from the big man. Marion. Right-hand side play and a ricochet. Stan Robban picks up the pieces, but they've lost some ground. Rawsthorne makes the tackle.
A couple of last-ditch efforts from the Toronto side as well. Could have been a penalty down Stan Robban. Ford gets away from one, and Mason Caton-Brown with some good defence there to wrap the ball up. That danger man Ford in possession. Oh, needed to be on runners again. Needed to be on his shoulder, Ben. Marion, that's Corella, puts a kick in, ricochets. Come back for the Toronto Wolfpack, but they don't seem to want possession. Bit of panic setting from Toronto then. But what about that? Jonathan Ford, he's a big, tall player. He stands up, he attracts 2 defenders. The space around him, because he's got in between those 2 defensive players. Somebody needed to be on his shoulder. He's got a good show and go. Talking to Brian in the studio pre-game, like, he might not be blessed with speed, but he's powerful, holds up defenders, gets through, and he's just holding up that ball, waiting for the teammate. 3rd straight qualifier series for Corey Patterson with a 3rd different club. Heartbreak in the £1 million game last year with the Centurions, having triumphed with Salford in 2016. McCrone fed the scrum. Toulouse want to hump the mistake and keep Toronto deep in their own half here, and there's going to be tough carries. Rawsthorne with the first one. Ashton Sims. Going to be interesting to see how they do play it. Paul Rowley's side do like to throw caution to the wind. They'll throw the ball around from one side of the field to the other, trap near their own try line. Is this a game that they have been waiting for the last couple of years, knowing that if they get this, as I said before, it could be in the £1 million game, or they could be promoted are going a long way to getting promoted to Super League.
Offload finds Blake Wallace in some space. Again, Rapira gets the tackle in, alongside Marguerite on that occasion. Kick is high, and touch back. Some space and time for Gareth O'Brien. Launches the bomb. Testing Corella, does really well.
When you back Corella in those situations, he's a fabulous player, French international.
This time it's Toulouse who are camped deep in their own half. Sims, good tackle. Was that a fumble then?
He's played
to continue.
Played at good pace this game, isn't it?
Just over 9 minutes flown by. Nothing to choose between these two sides. Nothing to choose on the table either. 4 points apiece. Just points difference of 18 separating them as Rapira moves in again. Dixon among the tacklers alongside Emmett there and Bob Bezic. And on the last kick from his own half, good pressure. Spilled by Rawsthorne, but backwards, allowed to continue.
Well, you can see the shadows on the players on the pitch. Rawsthorne, when that ball was kicked, he holds his hand up trying to shield the sun from his eyes, and he's got a problem here. Picked up a knock, obviously, in the tackle.
Holding his neck. We'll have a look at it. Got the ball in the second attempt. I think my viewing of that would be it's awkward more than anything else. That there's pressure put on by Liam Bretherton on the neck, but it's accidental pressure on the neck of Nick Rawsthorne.
Saying before that difficult for defenders to pull out of the tackle like that. When someone backs in, all of a sudden you've hit, the player spins around.
If there was pressure on the neck, it was totally unintentional. I think Tom Grant has dealt with that well. He's put it on report, but he'll stick with the first tackle. Joe Bretherton, of course, I beg your pardon.
Toronto with it. Sims into the waiting arms of Bretherton. Central position. 3 tackles gone. It's Patterson. Bezic.
Bob Bezic just scanning from behind the ruck here.
Bussey gets them into that Toulouse half of the field, and then the kick. Good set there from Toronto Wolfpack.
Well, Toronto, anyone who's been watching them over the last couple of years, they do like to be the dominant team. They're the ones who like to set the speed of the game. And Mark Corella, Teddy, you'd be confident. If you're a forward in the Toulouse side, knowing that you've got someone like him at the back, whether you broke around the middle or on the out wide, or when the ball goes up high on the final plays in the set, you'd be confident of what he will do. And if you've got that confidence with the players at the back, then it gives you confidence. Just concentrate and focus on what your job is in hand.
Going back to that meeting at St James's Park, it was a thrilling hors d'oeuvre to Magic Weekend. Wolfpack winning 43-30 in a 13-try blockbuster. Hat-trick from Liam Kay, of course, helped Paul Rowley's men go 5 clear at the top of the championship that night. Nothing to choose, with 11 gone at the Lamport Stadium.
Imagine that they'll be just feeling each other out. Starting to go wide here now. Sam Rapira, instead of charging in like we've seen the first 11 minutes, he goes out wide.
There's a claim of a bite.
Well, there it is. That was it straight away. You could see the motion to do it. Straight away, the referee, Tom Grant, goes across. Just have a little look here now. Bob Bezic spins around. Look at the motion of the head. Now, what happens? And then there's a reaction. Well, he gets in. Then straight away, as he pulled away, he knew exactly what he was doing. Was it jab pussy?
Bastien Adair, the victim.
Yeah. Well, the footage doesn't look good for me. Oh. Definitely not. Like Adair, for the way that he reacts to run to the referee.
It looks worse than that. That's... Oh.
It looks pretty damning.
I've no idea what went through his mind then, in all honesty.
Toulouse continue and marry on. Mason Casey-Brown with a good collect there, no real pressure on him, and almost allowed to build up speed. Well, dangerous thing to do.
He didn't deal with the first one, but he dealt with that one then, didn't he? Again, they're looking to link up with the outside backs here, getting forward.
Good carry from Rawsthorne. Now Emmett. Bezic. Wallace. Good progress made here. Bezic again. That was Jack Bussey who's lost possession.
Well, he's lost it on contact then.
And then give it some real air to find Jonathan Ford. That's a really nice flick back as well for Bastien Adair.
Well, he's got some confidence. Obviously, that was the free play. So if there would have been a mistake there then from Jonathan Ford, they would have gone back to where the initial error was made. Every time a Toulouse player is carrying the ball, they certainly are ramping up.
Corella with the previous carry and Rapira. Ford again. Free in the tackle though for Toronto. As Toulouse move into their half again. Emmett puts the shoulder in. Tim Puesh took the tackle. Stan Robin. Another huge kick and equally impressive from Gareth O'Brien.
Good footwork and evasion skills as well from Gareth O'Brien at the back. As soon as he catches that ball, he knows that he's going to be under some pressure.
Caton Brown under pressure, just 10 metres or so away from his own posts. Chase Stanley almost wrestled himself away there. Looking for the offload, there was no support player. McCrone moved in, this is Ashton Sims now. Rapira, Adair in there initially.
Surely this pace will tell at the back end of the first half. Hot conditions. Need a kick here from Macron. Just takes the sting out of the game, turns them around. Toulouse have just been, seems continuously bringing the ball away from their own try line. It's going to be difficult. They can't give that field position to their opponents, because sooner or later they'll make a couple of mistakes, they'll start defending the line, and then Toronto will hurt you.
Chris Sent shown on screen there, blistering form just now, 12 tries in his last 9 games, 5 in the qualifiers. He only trails Craig Hall and Joel Moon in terms of 4-pointers scored in this competition.
It's really good for Toulouse as well, Ben, to get that defeat against London, the manner of that defeat, the size of that defeat out of their systems. They've done that now. 15 minutes over in Toronto. They've dealt with the travel. They've got that poor performance out of the way. Look, I think they're going to make mistakes. They have given chances to sides when they didn't need to in the past, unforced errors. If they keep that to a minimum, they have the skill. They absolutely do have the ability to really challenge and threaten the home side.
Rapira, who seems to have dominated this first 15 minutes all on his own, really. Oh, that's a big hit. A big shot coming in from Ashton Sims.
That was a great carry, wasn't it? The way he come onto that ball then.
Tyler Heppy it was, short ball. In fact, it's Ford who holds on.
That was brilliant. Josh McCrone did not know what Jonathan Ford, where he was, what he was going to do. Inside, outside, stood off him.
They get a penalty here now. Fabulous carry from Tyler Heppy, gets them on the front foot. Problem here with Jake Emmett.
Josh McCrone, you can see him, number 6, looking around.
Can't see where the incident is, where we got injured Jake Emmett.
I think that's going to play a large part, Terry. Players throwing water over the back of their heads, dealing with the warm conditions in Toronto.
And in conditions like this, Brian, you've got to make sure that you do the little things well. You don't want to be defending. Well, Toulouse here going for 2 points. And I think that those points could be so valuable from the 80 minutes in this game. Tyler Heppy, he is all action, isn't he?
Referee saying there's your mark there on the orange dot there. They've pre-lined the penalty spot for him. No, there can be no doubt.
26 degrees forecast for the Lamport Stadium this afternoon. Corella, a chance to post the first points. Failed to score for the first time this season at London last Sunday. He averages 14 points a game. The first 2 points down to the boot of Marc Corella. Toulouse lead by 2 points to 0.
And what you must say as well, Toulouse from the south of France will be used to these conditions. Normally, English teams from the Championship or Super League going over to Toronto might suffer, but not the team from the south of France.
O'Brien then. Ford collects the restart. Tackle comes in from Sidler. Ever present this season for the Toronto Wolfpack.
Nice charge from Rhys Curran on the left-hand side, targeting Chase Stanley.
Good defence from the Kiwi international as well.
I think he's a phenomenal player, Ben.
Predator. Carry on for Rapira. Robin gets himself free and gets the ball away as well. And Corella. Good work. Good offload for Sebastian Planas. Ford. A box of tricks. Goes with the kick and it's almost volleyed forward then. Still the last. Comes forward off Ford this time.
Well, a few mistakes then. Well, that's the vision from Jonathan Ford. He will have a big influence in this game if Toulouse are to come away with the points. Just can't take that pass in from Adair. So the kick, what about the kick? Looking for that space for the winger over on the left.
The last tackle plays are going to be crucial, Terry. You got a very good look today, didn't we, in the South Sydney St. George game. If you're not good on your last tackle plays, Ben Hunt and the Dragons running the ball on the halfway line, of course, turning over possession, and South Sydney going on to win the game. You've got to be very, very good in what you decide to do with the ball in the last tackle.
Toronto with a chance to move into that Toulouse half of the field to attack the blue line of defence. 2 points the difference. We're both the second quarter of this match. Just as there was on Easter Monday, 2 points the difference.
And the referee giving Toulouse players clear instructions what he wants. He wants to clean what he wants them to make sure that they're back online. The full 10.
Darting run from Bezic first up. O'Brien tackled. Sidler. good carry. There's it with space to work. Wallace. Blake Wallace trying to look for the line. Blake Wallace still going. There's 4 in there for Toulouse. So close there. The 26-year-old comes back from a crow. On the bounce, they could have something here, and Chase Stanley feeds Mason Caton-Brown. It's a spectacular finish in the corner from Mason Caton-Brown. First try in Toronto is a Wolfpack 4-pointer. Mason Caton-Brown doubles his tally for the qualifiers. Made his 100th career appearance last week at Salford, and more to celebrate against Toulouse.
Don't we see some good finishes in rugby league? Look at that. Whether it's in Super League or the Championship, look at the effort here. Dives at the right time, under pressure. Look at
he's dropped it. No try. It should be no try.
It's given us a try.
He's given a try, but he's dropped the ball. No video referee to consult with, so Tom Grant has to make a decision. But Mason Caton-Brown, he had preparation, he had the ball in his hand, he knew what he was going to do, he was going to be spectacular. But I would suggest inches from the ground, he's ultimately dropped the ball. Time off.
Caton-Brown got his first Wolfpack try last time I was here against London a fortnight ago. On target again, this time against Toulouse. The Wolfpack in front. A tough conversion attempt here for Gareth O'Brien. Seven from 7 here against London a fortnight ago. Picture of concentration. This for a 4-point lead. Just off target, but Toronto ahead by 4 points to 2.
The big goal for Toronto was to start well today in this game, knowing that Toulouse really did fancy the chances. Have a little look at the finish here. Caton-Brown, he goes for the spectacular. I think, yeah, oh.
Dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Wait, Mark. Okay.
I was just fixed on the spectacular dive. Didn't look for the grounding. Obviously, Brian's been in those situations far more than I have. And dropped those sort of balls as well, may I add.
Hold. Go 1, 2. Move!
Well, they won't feel, I mean, they'll feel aggrieved, but it's 4 points instead of 6. They're just 2 points behind now, so it is that slightly better with O'Brien missing that conversion. And things go for and against you in games. They know that. All the Toulouse players will know that.
Surrender!
They must not let it, though, psychologically be any sort of a setback.
No.
2 points of difference this time in favour of Toronto, who move forward through Sidlow. Through a lot of work. Wolfpack colours as usual. That's a good kick from Chase Stanley. Corella in a good position. Swings it inside.
But working well together. As soon as the ball goes back to Corella, he's looking to link up straight away. Strong carry here from Marguerite.
Marcon did well to collect that pass. Move forward now via Centro.
Trying to
it float away. Sidlow there. But he does manage to promote the ball. That's really good play.
strong in collision, aren't they? Some of these Toulouse players hitting, spinning. Not big charges like this. Come onto the ball.
Surrender!
Toronto players defending on the heels.
Marion, Jonathan Ford for the perfect weighted kick, and O'Brien in a good position again.
They've lost the ball here. Or is it a penalty? I think it's a penalty. The ball spills out. Gareth O'Brien. And every time Jonathan Ford gets hold of the ball, it looks like he's got an awful lot of time. That's the respect that Toronto is showing him. And you have that distance between you and the defensive line, they're just sitting back, they're waiting for him to make his plays.
He's the icing on the cake, Terry, as we see Josh McCrone get some treatment here. There's no doubt about Jonathan Ford being the icing on the cake, but I think everything is put together by Stan Robin. I think he is the guts of the Toulouse Olympic attack. I think he's crucial. He's a durable player. We saw him in that last set. Ride a heavy tackle and bounce back up again. You see, this is what the penalty was for. As Gareth O'Brien is tackled, hand on the ball, and in and amongst that, the referee has found a penalty.
Step back, step back, step back.
Clement Boyer it was who made the tackle.
Wait for the foot.
So Toronto in a good position, already in that Toulouse half of the field. Bezic scanning. Sidlow who plays the ball. It's Confrido from McCrone.
Oh, he's one of them running halves, isn't he, Josh McCrone? Has a dig at the line, he looks up, tries to fix, and those defenders, let them plant the feet. You get a bit worried if you're a big man and a halfback's taking you on. You feel isolated. The man on the outside is more focused on what's going to go on the outside if McCrone does pass the ball. Look at him, takes on, steps off either foot, but that's a good tackle, isn't it, from Conrad?
Across. Head in. Let's get it going, mate. Back going. Yeah,
Toronto played 55 times over 2 seasons since entering the Rugby Football League. They've yet to lose consecutive matches. On the wrong end of the scoreline last time out.
And in that last time they played, it was probably that first half performance, 20-0 down. Not a good start for them.
Purposeful run here. And a good offload as well, finds Rapira. Now Jonathan Ford. And Ford goes the other way. That's really good play. What a great dummy that was. Tried to get the ball wide. And Mason Caton-Brown with a crucial intervention there.
He's inside. Stan Robin is inside. He's looking outside. He's thinking, well, who's going to keep up with me? Surely it's going to be someone on the outside. It's not going to be a forward. But it was Stan Robin on his right shoulder. Certain try. Nobody there. Blew an opportunity.
How important could that prove as this match develops? Gary Wheeler with that carry. It's McCrone who was looking for touch, really, just drilled it towards Corella, who returns with interest. The tackle comes in from Dixon and Sidlow in there. Jack Buchanan as well.
Well, I think they created chances by how hard the forwards running onto the ball. Some purpose. Every time they carry the ball, you can see that the Toronto players are getting a bit wound up because they are getting beaten up. They're going straight at them. They're trying to play through the middle, over the top of them.
Got a penalty for that high shot. William Bartow into the action now.
Here's the mark, here's the mark. Wait for the foot.
4th time off the bench in the qualifiers. 16 times a French international.
Hold.
There he is at the half-back and Ford. Ball, and it's a great tackle, though, equally good tackle from Chase Stanley, and that's forced the error. And Mason Caton-Brown taking the ball forward now for Toronto.
Well, tried to inject some pace into that run, then the ball was delivered from Jonathan Ford, but hit like a brick wall.
Wallace, though, has slipped the net. Wallace has stand about for company. That's a really good scrambling effort there from the scrum half. He's going to concede a penalty, much to his frustration.
Yeah.
And he's got 10 minutes in the bin as well.
Correct call from the referee, Tom Grant. Wallace, just with his shirt hanging out of his shorts. That's all they needed to get hold of him. Drops the shoulder, steps off the left foot. And you can see Robin all over him, knowing that they're clutching, strips that ball. 10 minutes in the sin bin. And the reaction there to the referee as well.
Marches off.
And that could be really, really costly, that. Stan Robin, Jonathan Ford doing a decent job in the opening half in this game.
Brian mentioned a couple of minutes ago, Jonathan Ford with the fancy stuff, but Stan Robin, the man that was really marshalling the team around the park. How can they cope in his absence? They need to cope in defence just now, because Toronto have an opportunity and they're in. Nick Rawsthorne in the corner within 60 seconds of Stan Robban's departure to the sin bin. Nick Rawsthorne strikes for his second try in the qualifiers. He got a double in the Easter Monday win in Toulouse, and now inflicts further pain on Olympique on home soil.
Well, that's where they can get you. Andy Ackers and Wallace, and what about that pass from Patterson as well? He's got a good pass away there. He doesn't panic, Corey Patterson, and he knows that his winger's just going to hold the touchline, keep in position, always have decent attacking shape that throw lots of numbers at the defensive line.
So doubles his tally for the qualifiers, got one against Hull KR. Career best 16 tries this season for Nick Rawsthorne. Extends Toronto's lead. Said it could be costly when Stan Robban departed. Made them pay inside 60 seconds. Are there another 2 points to follow from the boot of Gareth O'Brien?
That focus from O'Brien. Just lining this up now. Won't take his eye off the ball now as he strikes it.
It's another good effort, but it's another one wide of the target. But Toronto lead by 8 points to 2.
Well, with Stan Robban out of the defensive line and defending on the right edge for Toulouse, that's exactly where Toronto go. And as you said, Terry, Corey Patterson good enough to find his man Nick Rawsthorne with a pass out on that side. Toulouse have got to be very smart about how they handle these next few minutes without him on the field, without Stan Robban, and with a man less in their line. I would suggest to burn up the clock would be the way. I wouldn't be going gung-ho in any way, shape or form against Toronto. And if you can get Robban back on the field with just 6 points between you and moving close to half-time, I'd suggest that you're in a very good position from a Toulouse perspective.
Well, they get the ball back here. The ball bounces, goes out the field of play. So it's a drop out now under the sticks from Toronto. Good kickoff. And I agree, Brian. You look at this Toronto side, you don't want to keep the ball in field, you don't want to make mistakes. Do all the little basics well. The forwards have been running hard, landing on the front, coming up with some decent play of the balls for the likes of Robban and Ford. Kick the ball off the field, get some breathing time. Don't waste a lot of energy when you've just got 12 men on the field.
Going to manage possession. That's a gift to get possession back this time. Hull KR leading London elsewhere in the qualifiers. That's a 6 o'clock kickoff UK time.
Okay. Go to, good work.
Rapira played the ball. That was Bartow.
3.
Sidlow with the tackle.
Hold.
A witness who we saw in action earlier will no doubt be keeping an eye on that scoreline from KCOM Craven Park. They will not want London to record an upset victory over Hull Kingston Rovers, so that's certainly going their way at the moment as they hope they can reel in the likes of London, Toulouse and Toronto.
Fascinating battle developing in the qualifiers. Corella can't escape the clutches there of Gary Wheeler.
He's not big, Corella, but he's certainly powerful. He's got a lot of speed as well, hasn't he? He's made a mistake here. He's knocked it on. Tries to get up and play the ball quickly. Just a little fumble. Knowing that it's so important to give the man who's behind the ruck as much time as they can. Look at the defenders going backwards towards the try line. Unfortunately, for Toulouse, they made the mistake in a decent position.
Tight in. Wait there.
Tom Grant with the instructions at the scrum. Eventually Blake Wallace will feed, and he used the short side here. Wheeler first up. Good tackle comes in from Planas, skipper for Toulouse. And now Patterson drives that Olympique defence back. Heavyweight battle with Rapira. Ball given some air, but they can't hold possession. It's Chase Stanley who's put the ball down. Look at his frustration this time. It looked like something was developing on that Toronto right-hand edge.
Seemed like he had too much time then, Chase Stanley. There's good footwork at the line, can certainly beat a man. Whether he has an early pass or a pass at the line, can be devastating. And he'll be, as you said, he'll be frustrated with a simple error under no pressure. No one working from the inside, no one jamming in on him. Just a simple drop.
Chase Stanley, a winner in Paris with New Zealand 11 years ago. Twice a Kiwi international. His opponents that day included Sebastian Planas, who skippers Toulouse this afternoon.
Hold. Go one.
Visitors in possession. That's a huge shot, though.
Lined up then.
Darcy
Lussick and Sidlow. Wow, that was a third hit. Come from Z defender. Come from wide out. He spotted it. It was a slow play of the ball. Comes across a couple of his own players. Hits with a high shot. And that's the sort of impact. And going for 2 points here again. Like Brian said before, you just let the minutes, let the seconds tick down while you're down to 12 men, knock over the points that are on offer. As soon as you get your full complement back on the field, it'll certainly help them.
Talk about making an impact from the bench. Immediate contribution from Darcy Lussick.
Darcy! Orange line!
Played against younger brother Joey in the defeat at Salford last week.
Tyler Heppy as well for Toulouse. He's made an impact from the bench.
Time the room.
Mark Corella looking for a second success with the boot. Straight between the uprights. 4 points the difference now. Toronto still ahead by 8 points to 4.
Well, they take that. At least they're letting the scoreboard tick over and the points are going for them instead of against them. They have 2 tries scored against them, but they've kicked 2 penalties, so they're still in the fight here.
And I don't think that Sylvain Hules could have asked for more in Stan Robban's absence in terms of managing the game.
Now just 3 or 4 minutes left, Bill, with a numerical disadvantage. Bill, sorry, I beg your pardon, Ben. Numerical disadvantage. Look, they've shown plenty. Toronto fly in again. They're sparked up as well. Toulouse has shown plenty. Just got to get a bit closer to the line, a bit more possession near the Toronto line. I'd say they're going to cause the home side some problems.
Do you know what, Brian? I think they're a bit rattled here. Obviously, the subs that have come on for Toronto have been sat on the sideline watching what Toulouse have been doing. The forwards, I think they've been punching holes in them. They've been knocking them backwards every time that they go into collision. So as soon as Sidlow, Lussick, Akers get on, they want to just stamp the dominance on the field.
Toulouse beaten 34-8 in London last week. Body blow, really, but they've reacted well here.
2. Move! Hold. Go 2.
Barteau.
3. Move in there! Hold.
Andy Akers among the substitutes on Tyler Heppy this time. Just only 1 of 27 this year, Heppy.
Clown, still 3. 4.
Good numbers in the tackle again, led by Buchanan. Inching closer though, Toulouse. The kick from Corella is a really good one. Just too strong though. Good composure shown by Gareth O'Brien to see that ball over the dead ball line.
Well, they're all 7 play the ball here now, so it's a costly kick as well. It did look a good kick initially, and then just too much on it as he tries to stab it through the line.
0.
Go hunting Mason Caton Brown.
Well, tackle 1, they didn't make any meters then, so that's a plus for Toulouse.
There's Buchanan trying to remedy that. Curran among the tacklers there. Good quick play of the ball this time for Toronto though. They get a penalty. The purpose really from Dixon.
Well, it's just a leg up, isn't it now? And that's the reward, as you say, from Andrew Dixon. When he commits to run onto that ball, he gets the side a penalty. Toulouse now under the pump, really.
Great offload to find Andy Ackers in some space, and Ackers trying to take on the line himself. Shut down by Rapira and William Barteau. Tackles in the bank though for Toronto. Great field position for them as well. Buchanan rumbles into the heart of that Toulouse defence. Put down by Boyer. Danger not over though. Has he got over the line here? Just short. Was Andy Ackers. Some stepping from Wallace. He's closed down by Barteau.
There's an injured Toulouse defender as well on the line, getting treatment underneath the post, so there'll be 2 men short in the defensive line, and Ford clears up just where it's gone, Ben.
It's Sam Rapira. Sam Rapira was involved in a tackle. Before Andy Ackers scoots from dummy half, there was 2 players that collided. Andy Ackers has then jumped out, he's gone at the line. It was tremendous defence from Toulouse to hold him up, but you can see Buchanan, look, big effort, gets through, and all of a sudden there's a collision. Straight away he's holding his hand or his arm. Sam Rapira, see he's got a problem. They go straight down to down the tunnel to the changing rooms, get assessed by the doctor and the physio. And the way that he started this game, the only 36 minutes, they'll be hoping that he can get back on the field.
Real key man for Toulouse, the 13-time Kiwi international Sam Rapira. London level elsewhere at KCOM Craven Park, 6 points apiece. Ackers with some space again. Bastien Adair eventually gets to him.
He's a good player. He's a running 9. He's a threat every time he goes behind to play the ball.
Crucial set of 6 here for Toulouse. If Toronto can cross again, that's really good defence, led by Gavin Marguerite.
And Wallace again getting some attention when he passes that ball.
Wallace. The ball away this time, and Buchanan. Ackers hunting in some space. Knock on called. Toulouse have possession, and they've seen off another threat with 12 men.
It's a frantic pace again. The ball is in play an awful lot, and both players just seem to, both sets of players are just struggling at present, making a couple of mistakes now. But in the right area of the field for Toronto.
I think it's time, Terry, as well, for Stan Robin to come back on the field. Here he is. See what they've got, Ben, in the closing minutes of this first half, but I would suggest Toulouse would be pretty happy going in at half-time with just a 4-point deficit.
And they will just want to hold this ball in the final 3 minutes as we are. Solid carries, Puesh with the 3rd of those. Untidy play the ball. Allowed to continue, and Robin with a good pass. That was brilliant to find Marcon from Marguerite, and Marcon kicks on. It's going to be a foot race here. This could be a sensational try.
Wow.
Oh, that is brilliant. Paul Marcon has put the ball down.
Oh, that's a marvellous try.
That was incredible. There was interference as well. I think Marguerite was being pulled back. So if they wouldn't have scored this try, they certainly would have got a penalty. Have a little look here. Robin, well, he's made up, hasn't he, from Bin Simbin. Nice little pass from Marguerite. He's looking at what's inside. The ball is knocked back on Marguerite. He's then interfered with, but he has the presence of mind to kick the ball forward, hold his line, and you think what's going through his mind here. Do I pass it? No, I'll kick it. I'm under some pressure. It's a nice weighted kick. This is a good play. That's tremendous play from the winger.
The vision to think to kick is one thing, the skill to execute, absolutely unbelievable. At that sort of pace, that is an astonishing try from Paul Marcon. His 2nd in the qualifiers. He got 1 in the home defeat of Halifax. That one ties things up here, and Toulouse could be leading in a moment. And considering they've been down to 12 men for 10 minutes in this first period, it's a great way for Sylvain Houle's men to end this first half.
6-all at KCOM Craven Park. Potentially Toulouse going in with a half-time lead at Lamport Stadium. This qualifiers race is wide open.
Clock stopped with just over 1 minute to go. 8 points apiece. Really tough one for Mark Corella. That's wide of the target as well. We're locked up at Lamport Stadium.
Well, it's been a good opening half, hasn't it? Stan Raban with that pass to Marguerite. Marcom does a decent job to assess what's in front of him, knowing that there's the fullbacks in front of him, so there's going to be some space behind that line. He had to absolutely get that kick away, but he had to make sure that it was perfect weight, and he did that.
There's a nice willingness to attack as well from Toulouse, wasn't it? There's an adventure in their play as well, and they got the reward.
Got good 10, mate, come on.
We'll end this first half in possession as well, Toulouse, barring a mistake.
Go one.
Justin Sangare with that carry, the 20-year-old. 8 substitute appearances this year, but crossed for 4 tries.
3.
That's Chris Centron.
Well, they've certainly been challenged here, Toronto. You know, like the attitude of this Toulouse side.
Move! Square! Wait. Go 4.
Another solid carry forward again.
Wait. Go 5.
Quick play of the ball, that was Rapira. And a good kick to find touch on the near side.
Good awareness by William Bartel, the former Catalan Dragons player. Goes in, dummy half, jumps out to the short side. He's having a little look, he's having a look at what the defenders are doing in front of him. Seeing where his teammates are. Does he tip the ball on, does he play long or short, or does he kick the ball off the field? He chooses the latter, and they'll be just happy as the scrums form now at half-time.
That is the last action of this first period. 8 points apiece, and Toulouse will be much the happier of these two. They lost Stan Robin in the sim for 10 minutes. They've withstood everything that Toronto's thrown at them. Corella with an early penalty put them ahead, and then tries from Caton, Brown and Rawsthorne gave Toronto an 8-2 lead. Corella's goal cut the gap by 2, and then Paul Marcon's try. What a thriller that was to make it all locked up at the break. At half-time, it's Toronto 8, Toulouse 8.
Shoulder into the ribs and then leg drive from that point.
Collect any 4 promotional packs and get a Sky Storm movie.
At LV, our car insurance comes from the heart. Our uninsured driver promise means if you're hit by someone without insurance, your no-claim discount will stay intact.
And you'll have no excess to pay. For cover from just £199, go direct to lv.com.
We need to end this.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider, out now.
Play it on Xbox One.
Trade in and save on laptops at Curry's PC World.
Get £200 off this HP Pavilion with FHD display, only $399. For £150 more, get double the RAM and storage and a fast quad-core AMD Ryzen 5 processor. Plus, get £50 off when you trade in your qualifying old laptop. At Curry's PC World, we help you get it right.
When you love what you do.
Big name interviews and my take on the political stories that matter to you.
We've named the route we're taking Line 80.
The podcast featuring news and interviews from the world of entertainment.
In-depth context and discussion with our correspondents.
The All-Out Politics podcast. What a week it's been.
Sky News Daily podcast. News and analysis on the day's top stories.
Come on, Booty, get in the headline.
Find out
what they're on about with the launch of American Ninja Warrior. Sunday at 11 on Challenge.
You've got to grind the team down.
Well, Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes in a great position. Hamilton claiming pole position under the lights in the Singapore Grand Prix. We'll have race day, 11:30 a.m. tomorrow on Sky Sports Formula One. All right, our action's coming from the Lamport Stadium in Toronto. It's round 5 of the Super 8 qualifiers. The Toronto Wolfpack taking on Toulouse Olympique. They're locked up at 8 points apiece. 2 tries for Toronto Wolfpack, neither of them converted. Toulouse hitting back with a penalty from Marc Carella, 2 penalties from Marc Carella, and a try from Paul Marcon. Well, an entertaining first half, but nothing less than you would expect, Terry O'Connor, from both of these sides, as Toronto and Toulouse, 2 of the better sides from the championship, go head-to-head here. Much at stake in the qualifiers here. Have you got any indication in this first 40 minutes as to who may go on and get this game?
Probably, if I'm being absolutely honest, I've liked what Toulouse have done. I know that they've kicked a couple of penalties. I'm not saying that that was a nervous sort of like game plan from them, but I thought the forwards have dominated. They've run hard. The penalties that have been given away by the Toronto Wolfpack side, because I think they've been getting frustrated. They've been getting bullied. They've been, every time that they're running, they're putting a dent in the line. Been very impressed with them.
It has been a physical game, Terry, from the very outset. An unsavoury incident started the game, really, with an accusation of a bite from Toronto's Jack Bussey. We have a close look in here, getting his head in close to the tackle, but it's just about now.
That action there, I have absolutely no idea what's going through his mind. I think he's going to be in some trouble from that.
Well, following on from that, Terry, they won a penalty, the Toronto side, and Marc Carella kicked it to give them a 2-0 lead before Mason Caden-Brown hit back with a try that wasn't, but was.
I got a bit carried away. I just looked at the finish, Brian. I wasn't looking at the ball, and good effort from Carella, because it was his effort to make sure that he pushed him off the field and he loses that ball. But Caden-Brown is a tremendous player with a lot of speed, isn't he?
Jonathan Ford goes through, Terry. You were shouting, you were screaming for the inside ball.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting his teammate to be able to stand Raban. He's looking for his faster players on the edge, but he blew a chance then. I think he's been very good. Let Wallace, Stan Rabani, he gets back, he strips the ball then, it's a professional foul, he spends professional foul, 10 minutes in the sin bin, and you think that, well, that just plays into Toronto's hands.
Especially him defending on the right-hand side, Terry. That's where they went for Nick Rawthorne's try then.
Well, good hands, wasn't it, from Corey Patterson, the way that he just passed that ball, and again, that very dominant with the go forward. The interchange on the Toronto bench have been sent on to say, look, you've got to do a number on these forwards here.
Okay, they were man down and 8-2 down when Marc Carella kicked over his second penalty, 8-4 then. And then Paul Marcon's try, Terry, one of the highlights in the first 40 minutes.
Well, good vision, wasn't it? He knew that he'd drawn in the fullback, Gareth O'Brien. There's some space at the back. Not only did he have to get a decent kick away, he had to get the correct weight on it, and he scores the try, and it's an absolute belting game, this.
I can see a way for Toulouse to win this game if they get more possession and more territory, more goes at the Toronto line. They haven't had that many. We saw that Jonathan Ford effort when he goes through, picked the wrong pass. Marcon's was more of a long-range effort. How do they do that?
Well,
and how did Toronto counter that, I suppose, is the other side of it?
Well, Brian, let's not forget that they've been down to 12 men for 10 minutes, haven't they? In heat, rotating the players around. How do they do it? How do they compete with a Toronto side that have had it, let's be honest, over the last 2 years, they've had it all their own way at home at the Lamport Stadium. So keep doing what you're doing. Forwards, you keep on laying that platform. You keep putting a dent in the defensive line. You've got Stan Rabban, and you've also got Jonathan Ford, who will come up and they will weave those players at the back. You throw in then Marc Carella at the back. And I think they've got some pivots, and the spine is very good. They're only playing well, and we're only waxing lyrical because the forwards are doing the job.
Okay, Terry, I want to just go back and have a look at that incident that opened up our halftime analysis. It was the allegation against Jack Bussey of the Toronto Wolfpack. Here's one of the angles. It's a heading close, too close for cover, and straight away Bastien Adair went to the referee with a complaint of a bite.
I think this is it. Like, straight away, that you can see the. I'm not being judge and jury here, but like things like that, absolutely no need. There's a motion. That's the motion there, and that to me, he's guilty. Like that motion, the initial head going, and then straight away Adair, he's held his head, and then he's made the attempt to stop the player, get the attention of the referee. He's walked up to him, and you don't do that as a player. You absolutely don't walk up to the referee when you're defending and make a complaint.
OK, the disciplinary panel will take care of that incident during the week. We've got 40 more minutes of qualifiers action, though, ahead of us from the Lamport Stadium in Toronto. It's locked up at 8 points apiece. The French visitors very good in that first 40 minutes. The home side still favourites in this match. What have Toronto got? Can they repel the visitors? Second half on the way.
Brown misses it. Gelling over the top.
When you love what you do.
Here's a top tip for finding your ideal hotel. First, go to Trivago and type in where you want to go. Next, find the hotel you want using our filters. Finally, compare the different prices for the same hotel at once. That's it. Easy. Hotel Trivago.
Our car insurance comes from the heart.
Our uninsured driver promise means if you're hit by someone without insurance, your no-claim discount will stay intact. And you'll have no excess to pay.
For cover from just £199, go direct to LV.
Spock! Earn money with your phone and things you no longer need. Buy and sell where and whenever you want. Download now for free. Spock, the boot sale app.
Here's Salah. Well read by Edison, but not well cleared. It's a fabulous ball from Mo Salah. It's surely Liverpool's day now.
It's like having Darth Vader in the car.
So happy together. That was an absolute wicked kick, that.
Welcome back to our coverage of the qualifiers from the Lamport Stadium in Toronto. It is 8 points apiece between the Wolfpack and Toulouse Olympique. 2 tries unconverted for the home side. 1, a very spectacular effort from Paul Marcon. 2 Mark Krella penalties. Nothing to choose between these sides. There is 12 points between the teams over KCOM Craven Park. Was locked up at 6 points apiece at one stage. First half tries from Chris Atkin, Tommy Lee and James Greenwood. A reply for London through Michael Channing has them separated by that margin. You can keep following that score on skysports.com as it all unfolds. It will of course continue after this one from Toronto finishes. Okay, we can go back now to coverage from the Lamport Stadium. Beautiful day, a nice crowd, thoroughly entertained no doubt in that first half. Second half on the way, and again 2 qualifiers points that both these sides will be desperate to grab at stake. Back over to Ben Pro.
Thanks very much, Brian. Yeah, another thriller between these two, just as it was on Easter Monday, and a significant result, or significant later score there from Hull Kingston Rovers, 18-6. And that would, as it stands, put Toronto and Toulouse in the £1 million game places at the expense of London as it was before this game. Incredible first half. We knew it would be close, Terry. 8 points apiece. And I think Sylvain Hules will be much the happier coach, given that they were down to 12 men after Stan Robin was sent to the sin bin for 10 minutes in that first period.
Well, there's one thing for sure, those fans have been entertained, haven't they? The smiles on the Toronto Wolfpack fans, knowing that they're in a contest, and Toulouse will be pretty proud of their efforts. I was saying at half-time that they were down to 12 men for 10 minutes. Stan Robin, you take off one of the pivots, one of the most influential players who's going to guide you around. But this Toronto side know that they're in a battle here, because Toulouse have certainly given it to them up front. I think the reason why the score is locked up at half-time, it's because the forwards have played that well. They've not had it their own way. Blake Wallace, he's tried everything. He got through the line, didn't he? He was the man that was pulled down by Stan Robin. He was then sent from the field for 10 minutes, but they certainly know that they're in a battle here.
That thriller on Easter Monday. 20 points to 6 at the interval for Toronto. But 3 tries after the break, cut the gap to 2. Carella's boot couldn't level it, and a try saver on that occasion. The dying seconds from Liam Kay, not available today, prevented Paul Marcon from sealing an incredible comeback. Well, Marcon already on target in this one with a spectacular score in that first period. Really was the highlight of that first 40. And you'll struggle to find a better try scored anywhere this weekend. Real entertainment in the qualifiers. Look at the heat coming up from the ground. 26 degrees forecast for kickoff. And it might be a case of who gets the fatigue first. 8 points apiece, everything to play for. 40 minutes to go. O'Brien takes the restart, and Toronto with possession first up in this second period.
Well, that's it. Who can handle the heat? Obviously, Toronto, I would imagine, have had a bit of a dressing down from the coach Paul Rowley. They wanted a good start. They've not got a good start. As they're trying to come out of trouble, play their way out of trouble, they make a mistake. That will help Toulouse Olympique. And the referee, Tom Grant, was just showing a joke just before the kick-off with William Bartow, and Toulouse know that they need to work with the referee. When it's hard, when it's difficult, as you get to the back end of the game, you will start to feel the pressures in this game because of the heat.
Jonathan Ford feeds the scrum. A good position this early on in the second period for Toulouse. Wallace among the tacklers there, Wheeler in there as well.
Sangard.
Tackle call, Bartow.
Well, he's made the mistake. Sangard then, when he takes the ball forward, he's just trying to set the attacking point up to the right-hand side of the sticks, maybe for a shift over to the left. He's a big, powerful player. He's getting all the pats on the back and the hands from his teammates. He needs them now to help him out in this next set of 6.
So Toronto with the ball back. Wallace first up. So to carry the ball away from danger here, Toronto.
Well, Adam Sidlow, they can't dominate him in a tackle, landing on their elbows and knees. There's another charge from Lussick. They did manage to turn him over, though. It makes it just a touch slower.
3 really good carries, though. I've got Toronto into the Toulouse half of the field already, and Patterson. Ackers. Wallace. Into that right edge. That's a really nice ball for Dixon.
He's trying to find some space between defenders. They can't do it yet.
O'Brien left. Kick is a good one. Good set from Toronto.
Well, a bit of a strange kick early on in the second half. I'd like to keep, I would have thought that you would have liked to keep the pressure on, just drop it before the try line, drop it in the in goal, or even if you weren't going to go for that option, stick it high when you can make the ball into a contest instead of just knocking it off the field and just buying a bit of time. You do that when you're in front on the scoreboard and the clock's ticking down towards the back end of the game.
Good defence though. Patterson, if they can keep Toulouse here, it will be a good kick. And 2 tackles gone already. Lussick and Patterson combined in defence. Wallace, and then the shoulder for Buchanan. Planas, nowhere to go. Corella, all away for Sangare. Sidlow. Ackers in the tackle this time.
I think he's made a big impact, the man behind the play of the ball here, William Bartout. Forward with the kick, looking for some distance here. A good position from Gareth O'Brien. Straight away he's looking to link up, isn't he?
He was put under a lot of pressure there, Jonathan Ford. Did manage to get that kick away, as you say. Mason Caton Brown into the tackle of Bowyer. And there with some good defence, this time on Dixon. He'll play the ball for Ackers. Now it's Wallace. Something on the Toronto left edge, perhaps.
It gives him some speed, doesn't he? Whenever he chimes in at the back, Gareth O'Brien. Again, going the short side here. Gary Wheeler looking to link up.
Marguerite made a really important tackle. It's a good effort from Sangare again. Kick launched by McCrone. It's a contest and it's come up for Toronto. It's Chase Stanley who's got to that. And the Kiwi international is given the 4-pointer by the referee, Tom Grant, immediately. No video ref, of course, but that was a really good collect from Chase Stanley. His second in the qualifiers. And Toronto take the lead first up in this second period.
Well, Toulouse struggling to get this ball here. As soon as it goes up, the sun's in the eyes of the Toulouse players. You can see that he just drops his hand, Centron, to try to catch the ball. When he realises where it's dropping, he's trying to shield his eyes, and Chase Stanley, we talked about his strength when he carries the ball. He's a good player. He's a winger centre, can create some tries.
On target in Newcastle in that win over Toulouse. Now strikes again against Olympique. So yellow in last week's defeat at Salford. Happier memories 7 days on. Points to 8, kick to come. Won't be too much between them. Nothing between them at half-time. I don't think there'll be too much between them when we get to 80 minutes.
No, and that's why it's vital now that Gareth O'Brien just composes himself, takes his time, sets the targets, and tries to get these 2 points over.
Tough angle again. Just wide again. 12-8. Toronto hit the front.
Well, forever as long as he misses those, it still gives Toulouse a great deal of hope in this. Mason Caton Brown heavily involved in making it awkward for Centroni in his efforts to catch it, and Chase Stanley picking up the scraps, dabbing it down. I think I heard the ground announcer give the try to Mason Caton Brown, give him a double for the day. No double, but he certainly had a hand in it.
Chase Stanley with a double for the qualifiers.
Well, just 4 points, obviously in the lead now. Toronto still not having it all their own way. A lot of the talk will be about keeping Toronto down here, and that's the second time that they've conceded or scored a try, and then on the back of scoring the try, they've made a mistake from the kickoff. Got to make sure that you're clinical, you switch on.
And you know which line you're standing on. Terry, you actually made the point before we came on air. You were complimentary of the groundsman. Cut the grass nice, you said, this week, and it's lush considering the warm weather. Certainly has got a looking green.
Good chance for Toulouse to reply then. Wallace with the tackle first up. Could play the ball for Corella. Buchanan puts the shoulder in.
They do change the angles well, don't they? And William Bartow now, he's putting his hands up. He doesn't know whether to go right or left. They get a penalty here. I wonder if they'll take the two. They've took 2 penalties, so I know that they're behind, but they've got to keep the pressure on. They've got to keep going.
Maxime Pouesh with the carry that led to that penalty. And this is Justin Sangare. 5 or so metres away. Ball shipped to that left-hand side, and the danger man. Now they go right, and that's really important from Wallace. Bartow. Tackle comes in from Lusick. Bartow again, this is Robin. Stan Robin to the line, good ball. Ricochets, will they come up with it? Toronto here, Wheeler desperate to get possession back. Come up for Marguerite though.
6 to go.
Good work from Marguerite, he's good awareness, wasn't it?
He's wiped the tackle count, Ben. This is a great time for the Toulouse Olympique side.
Back-to-back sets for the visitors. Injury though for Gavin Marguerite.
A dislocated finger, I think. There we go. Let's get that back in.
Get it back in, pull it out of the joint, stick it back in the joint, get him back up, play the ball. So, look at that. Wow. Saw Brian once, a few years ago, stretching off with one of these. Saw one again last night, didn't we? On Sky Sports, look at him, he goes in. That's where he does the damage. I think it's when he tries to hand off Darcy Lussick. Yeah, Thomas Lulawai last night.
Straight away, showing it to the physio.
He's not having much luck putting that back in.
No. Hopefully there's no break in that.
Toulouse trailing again. They've lost their last 3 away from home, in fact. At Halifax in the Championship, and then at Leeds and London. They haven't won outside France in exactly 2 months. Big win as well, that was at Barrow, 72 points to 6. Bastien Adair with a hat-trick that day.
Give him a big pat on the back. Gavin Marguerite, he was aware of the ball on the floor. He's picked it up, he's played on, he's played to the whistle.
Absolutely
Gets
right.
back into the centre of the field. So he's earned his side some valuable position here. Looks strong and powerful, doesn't he? Trying to get rid of Buchanan, Lussick, Andy Ackers. Then Adam Sidlaw comes in to lend his weight.
Done well to hold on to the ball as well, with all that pressure.
Pressure now with Toulouse. Desperate to get the 4-pointer that would level things again at the Lamport Stadium, but they've coughed the ball up early in the tackle count there, and Toronto have it back.
Yeah, caught in 2 minds then from dummy half. He jumped out to the left-hand side, tried to come back to the right, seeing if anyone was gonna come short from him. Didn't really have much communication from his halves in Jonathan Ford and Raban.
Come on.
And they'd be glad of that mistake, Toronto. See the forwards just walking around, just taking those deep breaths.
It's a couple of times now that the Toulouse side have been down near the Toronto lines and haven't come away with anything. As Hull KR seem to extend their lead over the K-Con Craven Park. Toulouse can't be so wasteful with the chances.
Instead it's Toronto back in possession. They've got a penalty, they've got the momentum. It's a strong start for Toulouse.
Yeah, and he looks strong as well, carrying that ball. Mason Caton-Brown earns a side of penalty. Look at that enormous kick as well now. Tom Grant taking Toulouse back to 15 metres from their line.
That strong start from the visitors could be wiped out with a try here from Toronto. Ackers. Flick from Sidlow, McCrone. Huesh. Shoulder in alongside Curran there in defence for Toulouse. McCrone, Wallace, some purpose here, good ball, wheel around the back, oh, that could have been a sensational score. Rawsthorne couldn't collect.
Oh, he's got a lot of skill, hasn't he, Gary Wheeler? We saw him when he broke onto the scene as a youngster for St Helens. The ball goes in his hands, it goes out the back, knowing that the winger, Marcon, has jammed in. And as soon as he gets him attracted, he knows that there's some space out wide. Unfortunately, can't quite get that pass away cleanly.
Got to hold your depth just a fraction. You've got to, if you're Nick Rawsthorne, you've got to give Gary Wheeler every chance to get it away. He did magnificently that time, but Rawsthorne had overread the play. It's a lot easier to accelerate forward to a ball than try and reach behind and collect one back.
Looking to add to his 4 points in the first half. Nick Rawsthorne just couldn't collect. Great skill, though, to set the opportunity up.
Go one time, Corey.
Now they're in defensive mode, the Wolfpack.
Surrender! Stand, wait. Go to Adam, full 10. 3.
That's a good carry off a relatively slow play, the ball as well.
Go 3, Andy!
Chris Centrone it was.
4.
He's caused some damage every time he's run as well, Reece Curran.
Go 4.
Now they go wide, but it's only found a Toronto pair of hands. It's Gary Wheeler, I think. Wheeler away.
Just got a bit carried away then with the block shape, looking to hit the man out the back. Gary Wheeler spotted it though.
Wanted a quicker play of the ball than that. Rawsthorne initially. The best hands from Toronto. So much at stake, and the ball comes free.
Well, good defence here.
It's a knock-on called against Chase Stanley, I think.
Chase Stanley, a couple of errors in the game. Certainly does help Toulouse. Then they had good shape in attack. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get the pass away. As soon as that ball goes out wide, Gary Wheeler is jogging on the spot. He'd already committed to come in, along with his winger, Nick Rawsthorne. Chase Stanley then, when he gets the ball under some pressure, loses that possession on the collision.
Wheeler seemed to have turned his ankle a little in that as he pulled up in that tackle after his initial break. Hobbled back to his position, left centre. Keep an eye on him, see how that develops.
Let's hope there's no more injury woe for Gary Wheeler. But he has been such an unlucky player. He made his 100th career appearance against London, and that took a decade in the game. So we wish him well. He seems okay there. He makes the tackle and lined up for some more defensive work there. No sentiment in this game. If you've got an injury, they're going to target you.
You're looking for any weakness, aren't you? And, well, this certainly does help them. Blake Wallace all over Planas then, as he's trying to get up, trying to wiggle free from the tackle and get to his feet. Tom Grant says, no, that's too long, that. Give the penalty. William Bartow now will look to get some valuable metres from this kick into Toronto's territory.
Sebastian Planas, 34 now. Survivor from Toulouse's first taste of the championship between 2009 and 11.
Ooh.
Big shot there coming in from Lusick.
Wow. Imposing figure, isn't he, Darcy Lusick?
Boyer held on to possession. Sangare now. Marion. That's Ford.
Got good relationship, those two, Ford and Curran.
Curran plays the ball just 10 metres away. Sangare again. That's Marion. Robin. And a kick. Just too strong.
Yeah,
Good idea.
It was definitely on. Just couldn't get the angle right though. Went too far. It needed to go more across the field to the winger. But good play. Again, it was from Carella. So he does cause problems when he chimes into line. He can see things at the back. He's always looking for where there might be some space, where they might have some numbers in attack.
7 tackles for Toronto, though. Sidlow, solid progress first. Typical from him. Hasn't missed a game in 30 League and Cup this season. Speed that play the ball up. Sims moves in, that was Wallace. O'Brien at the line.
Oh, he did well to ride that tackle, but for riding that tackle, he took a couple of heavy challenges.
Patterson moved in to feed that Wallace, I beg your pardon. Important tackle from Sangare. There's McCrone. That's a really good shot. And Toulouse almost come up with it with Corella.
Oh, that was an excellent effort in defence. He's in the wars, isn't he, Gareth O'Brien? He gets whacked over on the left, then he gets whacked over on the right. I'm sure he must be seeing stars at present.
A couple of Toulouse players, Terry, left on the ground in that set from the Toronto side. Quick play the balls, bouncing forward, speeding the game up. Toulouse unable to go with them that time. It's a dangerous period now for the French side.
Okay.
They're camped deep in their own half as well. Real momentum favouring Toronto.
Well, you always know when you always know when your forwards are tired. Your outside backs get in, trying to get you going forward. They've certainly been targeting in the opening 15 minutes in this second half. In the middle third by the likes of Lussick and Sidlow and Andy Ackers.
Barteau finds Boyer. Trying the Easter home defeat to the Wolfpack, Clement Boyer. Opposite number Buchanan with a good hit there. There's Murray onto ground. Ford under pressure. Gets out of it well. Gets a kick away. O'Brien, though, exactly the right place. Here is Mason Caton Brown.
He's got good game awareness, though, hasn't he? Jonathan Ford, he knows all situations that he could be put under pressure. There's a penalty here now. Mason Caton Brown. The penalty awarded to the Toronto Wolfpack. Toulouse just trying to slow them down. Stan Raban, the man who's spent 10 minutes in the sin bin, the man penalised.
Great opportunity then for Toronto Wolfpack here. They lead by 12 points to 8. Wallace. And that's Sims.
They like this left to right, don't they?
They're there again. Marion Wise gets the tackle in alongside Curran. This now Jack Bussey. Bussey to within 4 metres or so of that line initially. Repelled by Barteau. Bezic, lively, gets a pass away for Sims. Can he stretch over? Sims so close. Pressure from Toronto. Wallace, good ball. Can he hold up Patterson? He can.
Forward pass, I think.
Forward pass, though.
Wow, it was on, though, wasn't it? It was certainly on. Then a couple of Toulouse players were caught out wide. They were caught short for numbers, and they had to try and solve those problems. And as soon as a couple of players jumped the line, the pass was certainly on to that man. He hits the ball at some pace. Unfortunately, the ball travels forward. Well, that's when they're dangerous to play against this Toronto side. Down near your line, you've been defending, you've come up with a couple of errors, you've got a couple of sets to defend against. Bit of ill-discipline as well. It plays into their hands, the speed of which they play the game.
In red-hot form as well, Corey Patterson, 7 tries in his last 10 games. Looked to be in there for a moment.
They could really do with a penalty here, Ben. Get it by running hard, trying to play the ball quickly. See if you can get Toronto to infringe, but they're finding it hard. It's a hard period of the game for Toulouse, this.
He has to carry the ball from deep in their own half. Not getting a lot of possession, not a lot of territory. Toronto ramping things up in defence, ramping up the pressure.
There you go. That's a reliever. And that will absolutely kill Paul Rowley.
Well, Tyler Heppy, he's the man who set the platform by coming onto the ball hard, gets rid of a couple of defenders, leaves them on the floor, then the next carry earns the penalty. But you can almost trace it back to what happens before. How do they get in a position to get that penalty?
Now they're in a really good area of the field now, Toulouse.
But they're tired, Ben. They got to come up with some creativity now.
He's going for that again, isn't he, Gary Wheeler?
Stamraban, the man charged with creating something, and he's dropped the ball. It's filtered out to Mason Caton Brown. If he can slip the net, there could be trouble.
Oh, there's a lot of panic set in when he gets the ball, isn't there? In broken play.
Clawed to the ground by two, but it's a quick play of the ball. Just a sense that Toronto have Toulouse where they want them here.
Well, defence takes it out of your attack, Ben, and that was a fatigued attack that had to go with Toronto's line. Suggesting that they weren't sure of what they wanted to do, and when they tried something, it was sloppy play in the end. Find themselves again under pressure inside their own half.
Sims for Bezic, Wallace, now Patterson, and Wheeler with some space. Wheeler trying to get around his man. Good tackle from Stamraban, had to be as well. Patterson, Wallace. Emmett now, good tackle coming in from Marion. They need to keep this up, Toulouse. Critical moments coming up. Macron's kick off the outside of the boot. Come back via Mason Caton Brown. O'Brien puts another kick in.
Well, as soon as he kicked that ball as well, then Gareth O'Brien, he was hit. And you can see that they kick the ball high, get it into the sky, and hopefully that it'll affect some of the Toulouse players when they're trying to catch that ball because of the sun. It's finding it really difficult now here.
More tough carries for the visitors, feeling the heat in these conditions.
Well, they're certainly working hard. They're running hard onto the ball. How long can they keep it up for, though? Sooner or later, you need to have some field position. Was that touch then by a Toronto player? Yes, it was.
Wow.
Back to one.
Desperate for that call. Absolutely desperate for that call.
Can't you?
Tom Grant almost came to their mercy there and said 6 more tackles. Planas, the skipper.
You always know it steps up another level if a scrum half's flying out of the line and trying to put a shot on a forward.
They're only 4 points behind, but to an extent they're on the ropes here. Chancing their arm with an offload.
Brereton trying to throw the ball around as Adair is just trapped there by Dixon. It's a quick play of the ball though. They continue forward with Corella. Now Brereton. Toulouse looking for the counter punch here. Bezic with the tackle.
Well, Tyler Heppy, he gets up, has a little swing at Bob Bezic.
Bussey's pointed to his hand now. A biting incident involving him and Adair in that first period.
Tyler Heppy, remember playing against his dad, Brad Heppy. Wow, what a tough lad that was. He was made of granite, could cause a fight in an empty house. And that man, his son.
Well, there you go. Another allegation of biting. This time, the alleged offender in the first half, Jack Bussey, has claimed that he's been bitten.
5, 4, please remember, play responsibly.
Tyler Heppy on screen. Super League quality. He played 4 games with Hull Kingston Rovers 5 seasons ago. Looking for his first try of the qualifiers. He got a double at Dewsbury and also scored in wins over London and Featherstone. Toulouse need to lock things up again. Last tackle, high kick. More pressure on Rawsthorne. Bartow is put to ground, O'Brien collects, and O'Brien is flattened.
Well, as soon as he catches that ball then, again he knows that he's got to get rid of it, can't quite get it through the defensive line from Toronto. A couple of incidents in this game, savoury incidences as well, but it certainly will just throw petrol on that fire. What was all, when we come into the game, started watching him, we knew it was going to be an important game for both of these sides.
Only one try since the break. We're locked up 8 points apiece at half-time, and it's been another thriller in the second period. The ball finds, that was Stanley, I think, Mason Caton-Brown, McCrone over to Ashton Sims now, spinning away from one. Sims driving into the heart of that Toulouse defence again. Could this be a killer blow from Toronto? It's the last tackle, and Wallace with a really intelligent kick.
Well, Mark Corella, he was aware of the danger on the right. The ball's kicked back, and the play was called by Gareth O'Brien to kick the ball back towards the sticks, and he'd be there. Corella was aware of the danger, the threat that was in front of him, and unfortunately, look, the ball from Wallace there. Gareth O'Brien trying to get in the path of that ball, but he just can't take it cleanly.
It will be exceptional if Toulouse can keep Toronto out now. It is obviously not impossible. It will be exceptional, hugely important in the context of this game if Toulouse are going to come away from here with a victory and 2 qualifier points. But this is it now. Another go at their line with a fatigued defence.
Got them on the ropes. Once again, Patterson. Bezic lively, Bezic going for the line.
Good defence from Toulouse.
It was Planas. It was Wallace who got the ball away. McCrone, O'Brien. He'll try and stretch them. Chase Stanley over the line. He dumps the ball back. That's really good pressure from Toulouse. Take a bow to the visitors. What a defensive effort that was.
Exactly, Ben. That is exactly what you need. You know, when Chase Stanley gets the ball, he does rock you. He does get you. You're thinking about what sort of plays he's gonna put on. He's very strong. Gareth O'Brien gives him the ball early, lets him play the play, tries to ride over the top of a couple of Toulouse players to give the ball to Caton-Brown. And they've had to do it tough as well. Let's not forget that they've lost Sam Rapira, who was exceptional in that first half.
That is brilliant defence, but when you're on the ropes, and the French side are on the ropes, you can't cover up forever if you want to go on and win the game. They're going to have to throw something at Toronto. They're going to have to come up with a strike. They're going to have to get near the other side of the field with a bit of energy in their attack.
Don't forget, you can see Toronto in action again live with us on Sky Sports. Next Saturday, they take on the Widnes Vikings. That's a 5:15 start on Sky Sports Arena.
I agree with you, Brian. They do need a knockout punch, but first of all, they've got to get up near the line, haven't they, of Toronto. It's going to be difficult down here. They either need the penalty, they need a long kick, they need a good defensive set the next time that Toronto have got the ball, but as far away from their try line as possible.
Currently out of range, Sylvain Houle's men. Here's the last. Kick by Curran.
So this is it. This is what Terry's talking about now. Restrict the yardage, don't concede a penalty, slow them down but do it legally. This is a big defensive set.
But also finish your sets off well. Don't let the back rower on the left kick the ball. Give the ball to Jonathan Ford or Stan Robban.
Trying to restrict the meters that Mason Caton-Brown can make. It's a quick play of the ball though, and Bezic off the back of that. Exactly what Paul Rowley will want. Opposite number, Sylvain Houle as a Coach of the Year nominee. Incidentally, Paul Rowley not among those candidates.
Oh, he just couldn't take that. Then there was a knock-on from Toronto. Toulouse get the ball back here. And you look at the efforts from Toulouse, and said at the start of the game, beaten well by London last week, weren't they? 34 points to 8, made 16 errors in the game. Here just trying to tighten a few things up, but they do need that possession as far away from their try line as possible. Otherwise, it's going to be a long 13 minutes for them.
Gave Leeds the fright of their life at home earlier in the qualifiers, Toulouse. Third straight win in London would have virtually guaranteed their spot in the £1 million game. Stakes so high. Mark on.
High shot. That could be the penalty. Josh McCrone, as soon as he's hit him, he's turned around and said, no, that hit him on the shoulder. Now they just need to make sure they're calm. Just take the time getting this ball out of the field, but just do it when they're ready. They've been under pressure. Just buy a bit of time here. Organise the players. Let's see what Jonathan Ford wants here on the back of this kick.
The last few times they've been up near here, Terry, players with the ball in their hand at times have been looking around, almost asking the question, what's on? That's got to disappear out of their game. They've got to have clarity in their attack now. I know they're tired. They've been doing a lot of defence, but they have got to challenge Toronto here.
They won't have too many chances in this sort of field position inside the last 12 minutes. Toronto lead by 4. Toulouse trying to lock things up again. That's a good ball from Bartow, and Ford gets his pass away as well. Reece Curran. Bartow again, turned back inside. Good ball as well. Bartow lively again.
He offers himself well, doesn't he? And Tyler Heppy.
He's made a real difference from the bench. 16-time France international, William Bartow. Ford with a nice pass again. Are they over here? That's good defence again. Has to be as well. Dixon in there. Chase Stanley in there. O'Brien in there as well to deny Bastien Adair. Ford, measured kick. Taken, collected, but they're going to get 6 more tackles here, are they? Goal line dropout forced.
That is excellent. That is brilliant from Toulouse. A tired team that eventually get a chance up near the opposition line. And Tom Grant signalling urgently for some water on the field. Give you an idea of the conditions out there. Get some refreshments into the players. This will all play into the hands of Toulouse here.
Yeah.
I know it rests the defence, but this isn't a tired Toronto side. They haven't been doing the defending. This break will be most welcome for the Frenchmen.
Well, you'd think, wouldn't you, if you're in a Toulouse shirt, you've been defending your line, you've been pulled from one side to the other, you'd had to deal with some of the bigger Toronto forwards. You do need this time, because when you execute your players now, you've got to make sure that you hit the pass, you hit the player that you want to. Don't want to be caught in two minds and your mind playing tricks on you because you're tired and you are fatigued.
With Hull Kingston Rovers and Salford coming up for Toulouse, to say it again, this 12-8 down against Toronto with 10 minutes to go might be their best chance of 2 qualifier points in this game and the next 2.
Go, Joey, hard, Joey!
20 past 2 in the afternoon local time in Toronto. And the heat on Toulouse. They're in possession though. That was Bretherton with a good carry. Wigan Loney. And a penalty coming up here.
He can't go anywhere, Bussy. The reason why he can't go anywhere is because he's been run over. He's been scattered by Tyler Heppy.
Hull Kingston Rovers 20, London 12 elsewhere in the qualifiers. That's a good, a great pass as well, and they could be in here. What a great try from Stan Robin. Toulouse aren't finished yet, they could take the lead in a minute. 10 minutes to go, hold on to your hats. This is going to be a fascinating last 10 minutes. We thought they were down and out, and that try proves they're anything but.
Tremendous play. Well, if you're going to put a move on, at least do it with some conviction. And that's what they did. Stan Robin, he's come back onto the field since he was sin bin. And he's been a danger man every time he's got the ball. And while this is a decent finish, this now, a kick to the right-hand side of the sticks. Kickable for someone like Carella with the class that he's got.
What a turnaround. We're looking at Toulouse defending their line, and Toronto banging and banging on the door, looking like they're going to get in. Brave defense from Toulouse. They go on the other end of the field. A couple of times, not much in attack. Little bit of a break. Luck goes their way. Stan Robin goes over.
Stan, the man, again for Toulouse. Tries in each of his last 4 qualifiers now. William Barteau is going to try and add the extras in. A crucial 2 points on offer here. We were locked up at half-time. It's 12 points apiece with 8.5 to go. Only 2 points between them on Easter Monday. It was a thriller at St James's Park as well. Okay, 13 points the difference on that occasion, but a 13-try blockbuster, 43-30, and a real treat to kick off the Magic weekend. And they've served up some more excellent stuff at the Lamport Stadium. Barteau takes his time, composed himself to miss. Just holds his hands up. The pressure may have got to him there. We stay locked up at 12 points apiece. Try from Stan Robin. Couldn't add the extras, and how crucial could that moment be at the end of this one?
Well, you want golden point in the game over here, you're going to get an idea, I think, in the next 8 minutes of what golden point will look like.
Compelling drama at the Lamport Stadium. Toulouse get the ball back. Ford collects.
You would hope, Terry, wouldn't you, that Toulouse believe they can win this game now. For what they've been through and where they are now, with 8 minutes to go locked up, they should have belief.
They've well and truly been under the pump. The man who got them into the position and earned the penalty was the man who's playing the ball. Now, off the back of that penalty, they're then chanting their arm and they're challenging Toronto. A bit strange how Mark Corella as well didn't go for that kick, and it was William Barteau. This is what they need, speed around the ruck. Look at that, left players on the floor. Here goes Corella.
Belief in these carries now, and Corella is through. Corella away from one. He gets through as well, gets the pass away. This could be a sensational try on the pass flown by Bastien there. Is it going to come up for Toulouse here? Wow. They've got it back.
Well, Gareth O'Brien kicked a £1 million game-winning drop goal a few years ago. He's come up with a massive tackle.
Plan As repelled. They go to the other side. So close. And tackles in the bank. It was Bastien there.
Well, I've never seen Jonathan Ford have a crash ball.
So close. Where has this come from Toulouse? They looked down and out. Only trailed by 4, of course, but the momentum was all Toronto. Now they're camped under the post. Bussy with the tackle. Really important contribution again. Here's Stan Robin. What will they set up? Jonathan Ford has it.
Back to one here.
6 to go, it is. The referee, Tom Grant, has wiped the tackle count clean as Mason Caton Brown tries to carry on with proceedings.
Terry, you're right to point out, Jonathan Ford taking a one-out carry on the line, didn't get back set for the next play, and then found himself a dummy half of the third. Here we see it here. Well, they do get it back. There's a little bit of disorganization in the attack. He's the key man. You don't want him in those positions.
No, he's the one you want to organise. And like I said before, he's got a good relationship with Reece Curran. Maybe you would have thought that he would have gone back to centre field, got a quick play of the ball, and then gone for 1 point. To go the short side, I think they've dodged the bullet here. They've got off with it.
Question of composure for Toulouse. They will have possession via this scrum. Critical score elsewhere in the qualifiers. Hull Kingston Rovers lead by 20 points to 12. Remember, you can catch up with that on skysports.com once we're finished here. Drama all the way in the qualifiers on Sky Sports. Here is Brereton. Patience, composure, the watchwords for Toulouse here. 4 all wrapped up by McCrone, still managed to get
all the space.
Corella finds Bastien Adair. It's Centrone, shut down in the nick of time by Gareth O'Brien. 5 metres away. Crucial moments these to approach the last 5 minutes.
Wow.
What a pass.
Wow.
Is it Barteau who threw that?
Wow, well that's an absolute shocker, that. I'm not sure who he was looking to hit with that pass, but goes across everybody. William Barteau, for his introduction from the bench, he's certainly helped the side.
Well, lift your head up, that's it. It's not gone, the game's not gone. Wild pass. He's unlikely to ever do that again, but the game's not gone. Look at where they are. Put yourself in Toronto's shoes. You got to go the length of the field trying to have a go for a one-pointer.
Knows all about the pain inflicted by Toronto, subbing the Broncos team knocked out of the Cup by the Wolfpack last season, William Barteau.
Ooh. Going hunting then, was it Marguerite?
Wheeler plays the ball. Emmett with a good carry. Taken down by Marion. Wolfpack roared on by the home support at Lamport Stadium. Decibel levels lifting to help the side. 12 points apiece. Comes back for Gareth O'Brien. We've seen Toulouse trying to exert some pressure, and now it's all Toronto.
Is this going to go back to Gareth O'Brien?
He knows all about drop goals, Gareth O'Brien. It comes to him again. A one-pointer from Gareth O'Brien has nudged Toronto ahead by the crucial point with 4 to go. He kicked a crucial one-pointer. Everyone will remember the hero of the £1 million game 2 years ago with Salford. And history could be repeating itself at the Lamport Stadium.
Well, Andy Ackers knew exactly where that ball was going. The set-up to centre field. Half-quick play of the ball. Andy Ackers knew that Gareth O'Brien is the player that he wants to give that ball to. Delivers the pass, and the ball struck by Gareth O'Brien. They go for a short kick-off here, and they've lost it as well. Goes forward, here goes Dixon.
Dixon for Toronto. They'll just want to hold the ball here. After the drama from Gareth O'Brien, this will just be solid carries forward. Sidlow with the latest. They're inching closer to 2 huge points on home soil. The Toronto Wolfpack. What a story this has been. Looking for back-to-back promotions, looking for the promised land of Super League. Ackers, this is Wheeler. Down by Robin.
What an outstanding game.
It's been a classic. It's not over yet.
Head clash with one of the Toulouse players who's just receiving treatment from the doctor. Gary Wheeler, a left centre for Toronto, shown some good touches in this game. Giving the ball, trying to get that flick pass out early on in this second half to Nick Rawsthorne, who just overrun the pass, and they've not had it all their own way. Andy Ackers come from the bench, another player that's had a tremendous game. And it's a big 2.5 minutes now. Just over 2.5 minutes now for both of these sides.
Here go Toronto, Brake Wallace in there again. Sidlow, can he get over? And that opens up for Patterson. He flings the ball back, and it's going to come up for Toulouse.
Well, whatever happens in this game, how good have the defences been? The try-line defence, that it shows what's at stake in this game. Both of them want a crack at Super League next year. Both of them want to qualify straight away without even getting to the £1 million game. And they've absolutely gave it everything.
That's a big run. Speed this up, you might get a chance.
A classic in the NRL this morning on Sky Sports. A drop goal from Adam Reynolds. So South Sydney beat St George Illawarra by 13 points to 12.
Oh, it would have been going a little closer to the post. Yeah, sorry, Ben. Closer to the post is going to be the idea here.
Inside the last 2 minutes. They're going sideways rather than forwards. Trying to bite into the tackle, Toronto. The ball filtered wide for Paul Marquand. Scored a thriller in the first period. They're inside that last 20-metre zone now. Here is the last chance. Need to go central first. They've gone via Corella. They've gone to the air. They're testing this. It's going to come up. Zero tackle called. He's gone over the line here. Tyler Heppy. A knock-on called by Tom Grant.
Well, he was clear with his call then, Tom Grant. The mistake must be from Toulouse player. And Marion asking questions to the referee, along with that man, who Tyler Heppy, if it would have been play on, he would have scored what surely would have been the match-winning try.
Was there any thought? We'll have a look at it here. Oh, the referee's called a knock on. He's in a good position. Was there any thought in the Toulouse side to set up for a drop goal? Any thought?
They haven't scored a one-pointer all year.
Oh, you can tell why. They've gone left, got a chance, and they bypass the posts. They go all the way to the other side of the field. That's phenomenally poor management from their halves.
Which surprises you, really. Well, it surprises me.
London coming back into it. Hull Kingston Rovers lead cut to just 4 points at the KCOM Craven Park. Drama everywhere in the qualifiers on Sky Sports. Remember, you can catch up with that on our website once we're finished here. Channing it was with the 4-pointer for London. Here go Toronto again. They lead by 1 inside the last minute.
Well, they get to the end of the set. There won't be any quick play of the balls here.
Sidlow took an ace to play that ball.
As soon as it comes to the 4th, maybe 5th tackle, they're going to kick the ball off the field. This next one now. Get the ball off the field, kick it into touch, make sure it bounces first, obviously.
Last tackle. That was Stanley. Mason Caton-Brown with the kick. That's gone out on the full.
Well, they've got one more player. They've got one more player here now to lose.
Oh, well, if they couldn't do it at that full set, Terry, I wouldn't be confident of anything.
What have Toulouse got left? It's been a monumental effort from them, whatever happens in Toronto. This is the last play. Ford goes to the air. Sidlow just dives on the ball as the hooter goes. And an absolute classic has gone the way of Toronto at the Lamport Stadium. They've won this one by 13 points to 12. High stakes match, high quality match. The second classic of the day on Sky Sports, decided by just 1 point. It's Paul Rowley's men who get 2 priceless points in the qualifiers. They've won this one by 13 points to 12.
Absolutely, Ben. That's a roller coaster game for the Lamport Stadium. Toulouse gave it everything and had some chances at the end. Locked up at 8 points apiece at half-time. 13-12 in the end to the home side, courtesy of, you guessed it, a Gareth O'Brien drop goal. We've heard that before in the qualifiers, particularly in a £1 million match from just a couple of years ago. There is another very important game in process at the KCOM Craven Park, and Michael Channing double has now put the London Broncos to within 2 points of Hull Kingston Rovers. Just over 10 minutes to go. You can follow that game and how it unfolds on skysports.com. Right, as it stands, this is a Super 8 qualifiers table. Obviously, the Hull Kingston Rovers and London game will not be put into this yet. Toronto Wolfpack move up into third and into the automatic qualification spots. Rovers and London Broncos in the £1 million game positions. Widnes Vikings, with their first 2 points today, will have eyes on catching either Toulouse, catching both Toulouse and London and pushing themselves into fifth. There is still hope yet for the Vikings. Right, what have we got coming up for you on Sky Sports next week? We'll have Huddersfield Wigan from the Super 8, 7:30 p.m. Sky Sports Arena on Thursday, and that's followed by the Castleford Tigers taking on Wakefield at 7:30 p.m. on Sky Sports Arena, in what should be a fiery local derby. Saturday sees Warrington taking on the newly crowned league leaders St Helens, 3 p.m. start, Sky Sports Arena. That is followed by Toronto's home game against Widnes, 5:15, Sky Sports Arena from the Lamport Stadium in Toronto. 4 games coming up. Hope you can join us for all of those. Until next week, bye-bye.
Sky Sports. Feel it all.
Just looking to pass, earn the right to play, go forward.
Gale to Hardacre. Hardacre to Minikin. Wide to Edom. 31 for the season.
Hey, Lucy.
It's my dad.
Archie.
Hi, I'm Tom.
For people, for plans, for 200 years.
We need to end this.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider, out now.
Play it on Xbox One.
You always think it's going to be someone else that's going to be a winner, and it could happen to anyone, and it happened to me.
I just won the postcode lottery. Love it.
I take it you're happy, my darling.
I'm over the moon with it.
You're in this lottery every single day. Chance to win £10, chance to win 1,000, chance to win 30, and who knows, you could win massive.
Sign up before midnight on the 20th of September to play in October.
It's £10 a month. You've just got to join it.
In the September savings event, this painted look chest of drawers, all in solid hardwood, is only $2.99. So shop now at Oak Furnitureland.
Dine for $9.99 from Domino's. Any size pizza for only $9.99 each when you buy 2 or more. Domino's, the official food of everything.
Go, 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 go. Not long now until the games get carried away.
Into a trance with me.
Go, 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 go.
And try roll.
Are you comfy there, Jeff?
Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Go, 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 go. It's time to take your seat. It's another unmissable weekend of football on Sky Sports. The players are out, and it's live. Go, 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 go.
Delivering precise ingredients, delicious recipes, and a dollop of adventure to your door. Gusto, unbox possibility. Jimbai Thai. Togetherness. A connection beyond man and machine. Mazda CX-5. Available with 0% APR. Drive together.
American Ninja Warrior is launching in the UK, and we thought we'd give you a crash course in some of the phrases used, such as...
This crowd is jacked up. Look at this.
The spectators are very excited to be here.
Whatever works for you, but wrap that sucker like a burrito.
Make sure you have a very firm grip on the obstacle. Find out what they're on about with the launch of American Ninja Warrior, Sunday at 11 on Challenge.
It's a moment. Courage, desire, triumph, despair. Moments define us. They make us. They break us. But what defines a great sporting moment? A second or a lifetime?
All I know is that I heard a shotgun go off. He was 20 minutes away from passing away. Literally that close to dying. I didn't see how I could actually come back. In '89, nobody gave him a hope.
I don't think we were expecting that to happen.
Greg LeMond was the comeback kid. Fignon was the hero of France.
It was going to be so close, it was only going to be seconds.
You're losing. You're going to lose the tour.
C'est perdu just rang out